Hello everyone. This video is for my critical thinking class as we move into week 6 of the course and start focusing on inductive arguments or inductive reasoning. This should be a pretty easy week. Our only work is the inductive argument discussion, which runs from Wednesday the 15th to Sunday the 19th. Remember, please, first posts need to be in by Friday, August 17th, and it is important that you contribute a few replies to your classmates in order to receive full credit. I want to talk very briefly in this video about the inductive argument discussion and inductive reasoning as a whole, just to give you guys a bit of a jump start into this conversation. So inductive arguments are arguments that move from specific premises to a broader, more general conclusion. And because of that, they work sort of on a scaling of probability rather than fact. So with inductive arguments, all we can ever know about them is whether or not they are strong arguments or they are weak arguments. We can't know for sure if they are true arguments or false arguments. And this is sort of a weird thing, especially if you look at the questions within the discussion. So the discussion has questions like, every day of my life the sun has risen, tomorrow is another day, therefore the sun will rise. We think of that as a fact. We want to accept that as a fact. The sun will rise tomorrow. And we can complicate what we mean by a sunrise. We can talk about Earth's rotation, the fact that the sun isn't really moving in relation, that's not what's happening. The sun isn't rising necessarily. We can complicate it like that. And I encourage you to think about complications for these arguments. But what makes these arguments interesting, what makes inductive reasoning interesting, is that even though it sounds like a fact, it's not. It's an extremely strong argument, 99.99% likely, but it's still an issue of probability. So think about your own life. Every morning I take the same 3 roads to get to work. Tomorrow is another morning, I will take the same 3 roads to get to work. Probably. I treat that as a fact. I plan my day around it. But in all likelihood, or it is entirely possible, that one of those roads will be closed tomorrow, or that my car won't start, or that I will wake up horribly sick again. And for whatever reason, any possible scenario could come up that causes me to not make that argument true. So because of that, the argument that every morning I take the same 3 roads to work tomorrow, or same 3 roads to work, and tomorrow is another morning, therefore I will take those same 3 roads to work, that can't be a fact. In fact, any statement about the future can't be a fact. It can only be incredibly strong and have a high probability. So pay attention in inductive arguments to words like probably, often, most of the time, sometimes, and do some critical thinking. What do we mean when we say probably? I mean, if I tell you I'll probably meet you for dinner, does that mean a 51% chance? Probably not, right? We tend to use those words to mean certain things, or they have a certain expectation with them. Think about in your own life all of the different inductive reasoning that goes on in your mind on a day-to-day basis, and how much of it we accept as fact, and it occurs subconsciously or unconsciously. We don't even think about it. A stoplight turns green, it is safe to go. Is it? Is that a fact? I've seen people get T-boned through a stoplight because someone ran a red light. So it's not a fact. It's a highly probable argument. Stoplight turns green, it's safe to go. How much of our lives then are we basing on probability? And is that good or bad, or should we be aware of that? Should we consider that? These are the kind of questions I want you to think about as you look through this discussion. Have fun with it. Play with the questions. They seem really obvious. I assure you they're not. They're not nearly as obvious as they sound. I would encourage you to complicate them, to have a fun discussion, thinking of ways that you can mess with these. And that's it. I hope you guys have a good week. If you have questions about inductive reasoning, just let me know. Until next time, see you guys later.